June is a wonderful month. There is so much coming to harvest now, and things that we can readily pick and eat from the garden. In today's video, I'll show you exactly what's going on with our raised beds and in our container garden. And of course, June being June, what's happening next? Not everybody is able to have a garden like we have. This is not a huge amount of space, not in the grand scheme of things. It's not even a half-size allotment, really. But we do have enough space in that we can grow our vegetables and feed ourselves with something all the way through the year. There's always something fresh that we can harvest from our veg garden. But you don't necessarily need a huge plot of space like this. You'll be amazed at actually what you can grow in just a tiny space. I take you back to February when we were building these raised beds from pallet collars, and they've been absolutely fantastic. We've had so much food from these. We've already been eating the lettuces. There's only one Webb's Wonderful lettuce left. These, the Saxon and the Lolla Rossa, we just pick the leaves as and when we want them. And of course we've been harvesting the salad spring onions as we go along. In the next bed we have beetroot. We've been busily harvesting those, giving us some amazing harvests over the last 2 or 3 weeks. And of course you saw me a couple of 3 videos ago where I was harvesting our fennel, and they've been amazing, haven't they, Mrs.
They
W?
are so lovely, aren't they? I'm
Yep.
so chuffed that we've managed to get some bulbs. They are, as I said before, they're a little bit small, but I don't care. I'm just really happy.
But they've been such a great addition to add to our cooking and our recipes, hasn't it?
Yes.
And these 2 raised beds that we put in front of the polytunnel, we've had some major harvests. Down here were some pak choi. We've finished those. We also had some in the other raised beds over there. We've finished those now. And over the last few weeks, we've actually been having some nice harvests of these Kelvedon Wonder peas.
Did you hear that pop? Love that sound.
Kelvedon Wonder are an early season pea, and indeed next season, when we get to next year, I shall actually sow these even earlier so that we get a much earlier harvest. We have masses of peas on here. And one of the reasons why we wanted to introduce the raised beds and the container garden was just to show people who watch our channel, because I get lots of comments saying, I love your channel, I only wish I had a garden just like you. Well, you don't need a garden just like us. You can get these amazing harvests just from a few raised beds. We've only got 4. We really have. That's all that's here.
I feel like I want to aim for some more though.
Yes.
Maybe some down near the house as well. That would be quite nice.
Yes, so do I. The other thing is that we have beetroots that are ready. We multi-sow our beetroots. And again, they've been harvesting for the last couple of weeks now, and we just take them as and when we want them. In this bed, remember these greyhound cabbages that I said they're a good variety actually to grow in your raised bed. It's an old favourite for me. I used to grow greyhound cabbage all of the time, so it's nice to see it back within our garden. And they can produce really nice, quite large cabbages. When you grow them in a raised bed, you can also put them a bit closer, as I have here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 in here. You can see here that they're now starting to heart up. The closer the space you give them, the smaller the size of the cabbage heart will be. But hey, there's only myself and Mrs. W. That's absolutely fine. But there have been some changes to these beds. New plantings have gone in. And this is the thing, as we get to June and things have given up their final harvest, you can get new things into these beds. We've put our sweet potatoes into these raised beds. Now, we've grown sweet potatoes before, either in the poly or the greenhouse, sometimes in containers. Never had huge amounts of success. We've always got sweet potatoes, but they've never been that great. But I thought, actually, this is quite a warm spot of the garden. It gets sun for most of the day. Hence why we're filming now, because it's that much cooler. And so, yeah, I'm hoping to get a really good harvest from here. We put them in here, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
2 to 3, I think.
Yeah.
I think I want to say 3 weeks, actually.
Okay,
yeah.
3 weeks, yeah. I believe you, Mrs. W.
Oh, good.
They've actually got established. They're growing really well and already getting going. And now these pak choi have gone from here. We can actually put the next planting in. And I want to plant out some more salad onions into this bed. Our container gardening this year has been really, really good. So pleased with it. You can see here that these potatoes are doing so well. And this is just some of the potatoes we have. There are more the other side of the polytunnel. We've been harvesting potatoes now since the beginning of April. And the continuity just keeps going on. If you're a regular watcher of our videos, you'll know that we're trying all of the Sapu varieties this year. This one you can see here now is a variety called Kifli, and it's a sort of second early potato. Now, I've sort of had a feel around there, and I know there's some nice potatoes there, but I just want to leave those another couple of weeks or so, and they will follow on from the Swift that you've been seeing us harvesting on our videos just lately. Remember these that we sowed into this tub? We have carrots.
Well, that was your snail tub, wasn't it?
That's right,
your
yeah.
spiral tub, yes.
Yeah, and they're producing carrots for us. So even the things that we've grown in containers, they are already giving us harvests. If you sow them at the right time, same as if you're sowing into open plots, you will get, harvest more or less at the same time. Take a bit more looking after. You need to make sure that they're kept watered and to grow them in some really good mix of medium in order that you get the harvest that you want. But again, things have changed down here. You saw me potting up some aubergines. They're coming on really nicely, Mrs. W.
Yes, yeah.
There is also the tomatoes. We also planted up some sweet peppers and some chili peppers. But again, things have changed here. I've added some sweetcorn into these 30-litre tubs, and I've also added 2 squash plants to these 30-litre tubs. And my plan is these are obviously going to get quite large. I'm just going to let them trail along this patio area. How amazing will that be? And really, even though we have the open plots, by using containers to grow things in and the raised beds, it just means we can get more of the things that we really like. We don't have to think, I need to wait until these have harvested before I can get the next lot in. And actually, you can see we've already got peppers coming on this plant. We told you about these that we grew last year when we were potting them up. It's called a patio pepper. You can see they're much smaller, but nevertheless still just as tasty, and they work really well on a patio. Mrs. W is having a real gherkin year this year. In fact, she really likes them. Nice fresh and crunchy, so we've planted some up in this old sink. and yeah, they're now getting away. I can already see flowers on there, so it won't be long before they give us their harvest. And then that's without the herbs that we've got here. I can see that we've planted up some basil and some curly leafed parsley. And the courgette that we planted up, that's doing really nicely too. Flowers coming on that. You'll often find that the male flowers come first, but it won't be long before there will be courgettes on there. And then we haven't really looked at the citrus fruit that I think we started off 2 years ago, was it?
Yes,
Yeah, 2 years ago. They're looking really great. And certainly for the lemon, we have a lot of lemons that are forming on these plants. So I'm hopeful that by the time we get to this time next year, we'll have nice ripe lemons that we'll be able to use. We've seen flowers on the oranges, but I haven't actually formed any oranges as yet. But really, that's what happened to us last year with the lemon. It produced lots of flowers, but we didn't get any lemons. So maybe that's a year behind. As for the lime, that's probably going to be 2 years behind, but I would hope to see some flowers on that at some point. And if we can get ourselves into a position where we actually have our own citrus fruit too, how amazing would that be? The cucumber, that's doing really well. You can see here, and Mrs. W has added a piece of trellising there so that as that grow, it can go over that and drop its fruits through there. So I think we're in a really good position with all of the container gardening and the raised beds. If you're watching this video and you actually grow in raised beds or in containers, particularly containers, how are you finding things? Have you already got things to harvest? Have you got much harvest to come? And is there anything else that you're going to be planting out into your containers? I know that to add to that, I want to add some celery that I've got growing away in the cell trays. I want to add those and see how they go into a container. I've got lots of salad spring onions. I'm going to plant some of those up into some containers, and also I'm going to plant our chard. The reason I'm actually going to plant the chard in the containers is that it will give us lots of harvest over the next few months, but it will give me the facility to actually, as the autumn and winter get here and the weather gets colder, I can move that container into the greenhouse and we can continue getting lots of harvest from that. It doesn't tend to go to seed until sort of, well, around about April the following year. So we should be able to collect lots of harvest of that between now and then. If you enjoyed this video, do give us a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and then you will know whenever we upload a video. If you're watching us for the first time and you've been inspired to have a go at growing your own vegetables, but maybe think you can't because you don't have too much space, hopefully today's video will have shown you that you can grow actually quite a lot of food in quite a small space. But of course, you do need to know the basics. The soil mix, how myself and Mrs. W got these vegetables into these containers. And if you want to know more about that, then watch this video next. And don't forget, healthy soil means healthy plants that give you bigger harvests. No spade required. We shall see you on the next one.